Hey guys, Foxdrop here. This is another patch breakdown video because of my low recorder is broken, so I can't do any recordings at the moment, so I don't want to leave you guys hanging without any videos, so I'm doing another one on these. This video I'm focusing on Kha'Zix and Rengar, like Kha'Zix's nerfs and Rengar's buffs and what I think of them. So jumping right into it, where's our first guy? Here he is. Kha'Zix, unseen threat, which is his passive, reduced damage at later levels from 190 from 220 to 190, and the slow reduction 25% from 35%. I don't think the damage is that big a deal. I don't think this is a huge nerf right here. The reason why his passive was touched is because whenever you got level 6 on Kha'Zix top or jungle, you evolve your W. That was the best way to play him because it applied your passive. Whenever you fired it, the passive was applied, and that meant that you had a range slow and just extra damage as well, extra free damage. So the damage has been nerfed a little bit, but I don't think this is that big a deal. 30 damage at later levels, I don't think that's really going to hurt Kha'Zix too much. But I mean, it stops him being crazy. I guess it's a little touch, but I don't think it's that big a deal. But the slow reduction, I think is the big deal right here. A 10% nerf on the slow is pretty huge because, like I say, his W applied that slow, and so that means that he can't shut someone down as much as he used to be able to, especially early. Like later on, Kha'Zix will jump on a carry's face and he'll blow them up instantly. He doesn't give a crap about the slow at all. That doesn't bother him. But when you're like jungling, especially when you're not as strong as you would be if you were laning, but if you're jungling or if you're at an early level, then that slow is really useful. And also don't forget, it's not just for killing people, it's for saving yourself. So this slow reduction, this is a pretty big nerf to him, I guess, but I don't think it's enough to like, you know, break him. But secondly, the second nerf to him, Taste Their Fear, which is his Q. The bonus attack damage ratio reduced to 1.5 from 1.6. That's not a big deal at all. It's just a tiny damage nerf, but that's not big whatsoever. But this is the thing here. Isolation bonus attack damage ratio reduced to 2 from 2.4. So this is pretty cool. I think this is quite a big nerf. Basically, this means when you're on your own, you can't destroy certain targets. Like if Kha'Zix jumps on you and there's no one around you, his isolation damage should do less damage to you. This is the big deal for Kha'Zix, where he'd just jump on you and he'd execute you and jump away again with his evolved wings. I think nerfing the isolation damage is a really good thing. I hope this wasn't too big a nerf. I mean, 0.4 from a ratio is a pretty big deal, especially late game, obviously, because that's when AD ratios really come into effect, because you have more AD, more items, because it's later on in the game. And we'll see whether this really hurts him too much. I don't think this should hurt him. I think this is the right thing to do, personally. I just think he's way too strong. Like, you don't even max your Q, you don't level it up, and you still do crazy isolation damage, as if you were maxing it. So I think this is the right step for Kha'Zix. I don't think he's broken. I still think he's viable, but that's just my opinion. Moving on to Rengar. Bone Tooth Necklace, no grants, +5 attack damage. That may as well not even be there because I don't think that makes any difference whatsoever. People still aren't going to buy that over other items. Bug Fear, Savagery, so his Q. Attack speed duration increased to 4 seconds from 3 seconds. That's really nice. That might make him duel a bit better in top lane and in the jungle, because he'll have a faster attack speed for longer, so he should be able to put out more sustained DPS, and rather than him just be that kind of tanky burst kind of AD caster. And also that will help his like clearing in the jungle as well with the increased attack speed. Fix a bug, okay, that seems like a pretty huge bug. I hadn't heard of that, but cool. Yeah, so moving on to the Battle Roar, which is his W. So Empower Battle Roar, which was his heal. Now he was in for a flat amount based on his level instead of 10% of Rengar's health. I don't think, like, the reason why Riot did this was to stop pigeonholing Rengar players into stacking health. I don't think people stacked health on Rengar because they were playing Rengar. I don't think that's a problem with Rengar himself. I think that's a problem with the items. I think that's a problem with the health items. Warmogs is the biggest culprit here because that item is OP as hell. If you've watched any of the Korean games, or just it's not just the Koreans who are doing this, but a good example is the Koreans OGN, where they are just like 30 minutes in, you'll have the jungler and the top laner with Warmogs. 35 minutes in, it's not rare to see a top laner with something like 4.5k health. All the health items, Warmogs, Randuin, Sunfire, and Aegis / Bulwark are really good items. They're really efficient like cost efficient items as well. But Warmogs is the worst or the best, depending how you want to look at it, just because as soon as you buy that, it's like 2.6k gold for 1k health, 1.5% of your max health as health regen per 5 seconds. As soon as you buy that, it's not like the old Warmogs where you'd have to stack it up and it would be more effective later it went on, the longer you had it. But as soon as you buy that Warmogs, you immediately get all of its benefits, and it gives you so much health. 1k health early on it's insane. Early on, health stacking is really effective, and especially things like, you know, it kills ignite damage, because ignite is true damage, so the more health you have, the less it really hurts you. So it destroys ignite, and also it's like a global resistance basically. It's not like armor, which is only for AD, and magic resist, which is only for AP. Health helps you in all situations. So stacking health is a problem for loads of, like, just from the items themselves, not for Rengar. So I don't think they needed to make this change. Rengar players weren't stacking health because it was a 10% heal off his max health, although, you know, I'm sure that contributed to it, but they're doing it because of the items, not because of the characters. So this flat health heal, 400 health heal flat at level 18 instead of 10%, right there, that's probably enough, because people will often have more health than that at level 18. So I don't know, I don't think this is a buff whatsoever, although I do think it's a step in the right direction. But as the meta is at the moment, especially as far as jungling is concerned, these kind of, like, there are only really two viable assassin junglers, that is Zed and Kha'Zix, in my opinion. And so I don't think Rengar would really want to build anything but tank. I think he should be building tank, and I don't think they really need to make this decision to, like, change it to stop you stacking health. This isn't going to stop Rengar players stacking health whatsoever. So I don't think this is a decent change at all. I don't think it made any difference whatsoever. Thrill of the Hunt, which is his ult, initial delay reduced to 1 second from 1.2 seconds. This is like a tiny buff. It's quite nice, I guess. It means you go stealthed quicker, which is cool. And this is a big deal actually. The stealth duration increased to 7 seconds from 5 seconds. That's a really nice change for him. It's a really annoying change for anyone playing versus Rengar, but he's basically going to be stealth for longer, especially if you've got Moby Boots, which is something that junglers are doing more of nowadays. They're getting Moby Boots. Moby Boots and stealth work really well to each other. If you think about, like, Shaco, Rengar, or Wukong, even Wukong. If you are stealthed and you have Moby Boots, then you're going to be covering more ground while you are stealthed. So the enemy's going to have less time to react to you, because you're going to be on their face faster. Like, you're going to be closer to them when you come out of that stealth, because you have covered more ground with your Moby Boots. So that should be really interesting. I think overall this is definitely a buff to Rengar. I don't know whether it's enough to make him strong again. The biggest buster with his ult, in my opinion. We'll see, but I don't really think this has really changed anything. So that's all I really want to say on these topics. I don't want this to be too long a video. But yeah, like I say, my lower recorder is broken, so I won't be able to do too many commentaries until there's, like, you know, a new version's released or there's a bug fix. If any of you are wise as to, you know, any way I can fix my lower recorder, then just let me know right in the comments. I'd be very appreciative of that. But so yeah, these are my thoughts, guys. I hope you found them useful, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.